A very good morning to all of you. Welcome to class 11 Business Studies. The previous classes we have already started the chapter number 3 of BST, that is Public, Private and Global Enterprises, where I have introduced you in the last class that what are the private enterprises. In the second chapter, whatever we have studied, whatever forms of business organizations we have studied in chapter number 2, that was all private enterprises. Private enterprises means all these enterprises are actually those enterprises which can be run by any private individual or any private enterprise. They can run that in the form of sole proprietorship, in the form of partnership, in the form of joint stock company, cooperative society, or Hindu undivided family business. But what if government want to start a business? If government want to start a business, government has three options with it. The government has three options with it that are, you can see on your screen, the public sector is being divided into departmental undertakings, statutory corporation, and government companies. And we have already studied about the private sector also, that private sector can start the business by sole proprietorship, partnership, joint Hindu family business, cooperative society, or any company, joint stock company. That can be either a public company or a private company. But the public sector, that is the government sector, can start the business by three forms: departmental undertaking, government company, and statutory corporation. So let us see that what is meant by the first form of public sector enterprise, that is departmental undertaking. If you remember, I gave you an introduction about the departmental undertaking in the last class, where I already told you people about that departmental undertaking is that form of business. Departmental undertaking is that form of business where the government has made a separate department. A separate department have been made by the government, and that department have been granted the powers, the responsibilities, the authorities to actually take care of the complete departmental undertaking of the government. So how do we define that? What is the departmental undertaking? We simply define it as it is the oldest and most traditional form of public sector enterprise. So the very first thing that you have to see is that departmental undertaking is actually one of the most oldest. It is one of the most oldest form of uh, working by the government under the central or state government. It is under the central or state government. So rules of central or state government are applicable. Of course, this is being under the control of the government. Whether maybe the central government is holding the control, or maybe it is under the control of state government. So whatever rules are to be made by the central government and state government for this departmental undertaking, that business, that departmental undertaking, of course, has to take care of all these decisions of this departmental undertaking. It's not an autonomous or independent institution. Autonomous matlab it is not having much freedom. It's not having much freedom. It is not much independent. Why it is not having more freedom or more autonomous or independent things? Because it is somewhere like where we say that government is having a complete control on the departmental undertaking. And when the government is having a complete control on the departmental undertaking, there is of course less autonomous or less freedom is basically given to departmental undertaking. It is established as departments of the ministry, considered part or an extension of the ministry itself. Generally, what happens, it is the either established as a department of ministry, which means one ministry is being there, which have been given the complete responsibility for holding that department and undertaking. What ministry does? Ministry makes a separate department. That department has to take care of all those things, all the laws, all the legislations, all the working style, establishment, everything of the departmental undertaking. So that has to work according to the ministry, and ministry is of course giving out complete information to the departmental undertaking, and departmental undertaking has to work in its own way. Act through the officers of the government. Employees are government employees. The people who are working as an employee in the departmental undertaking are the government employees. They are termed as the government employees. You all know that Indian Railway is the departmental undertaking, and all the people who are working in the Indian Railway, they have the government job. You all know it. They have the government job because they are termed as a government employee only. उनको हम लोग government employees ही बोलते हैं. So they are the government employees only, and they act through the officers of the government, which means there is the case of red tapeism also. Red tapeism means there are so many higher authorities, those who are taking care of that department. And if suppose I am that department undertaking worker, whatever decision I take for my department, I have to just, in compliance with the people who are on above me, which means I have to work according to the instructions given by those people only. All right. Okay. Moving on. The next is, you can see on your screen the 4 examples of departmental undertakings. Indian Railways. You know that railway department is there. And that is, of course, the departmental undertaking only, because that is completely under the control of government. And government is, of course, taking care of the complete railways. Whatever decisions government has to take, the department is being given the freedom to take the decisions. But that department of railway has to compliance with the law and legislations of the central government. Right? Whatever revenue, what do you think? Whatever revenue railway is generating, of course, railway is charging the tickets, railway is charging the fines, railway is imposing the penalties on people, those who are suffering without, those who are just going without ticket. So ultimately, what do you think? Whatever revenue the railway is generating, who will be taking that revenue, or where that revenue would be going? Fatapat se give me the answer in the chat box. Of course, that revenue is going into the treasury of the government only. It's going in the treasury of the government only. Government is the one who is taking care of the complete revenue also, because government is taking it in its treasury. The other example you can see is the Doordarshan. Doordarshan is, of course, the channel, Indian government channel. It's government's channel of news and, of course, of various TV shows. And it's on air on TV, and it's free of cost for everyone. Even if अगर आपके घर पे केबल नहीं है तो दूरदर्शन तो आएगा ही आएगा, बाकी कुछ आए ना आए, दूरदर्शन channel will be there, so you would not be bored. This is given by the government only. ये government ने आपको दिया है. It's a departmental undertaking. Then आकाशवाणी, जो आकाशवाणी आपका रेडियो पे जो एक चैनल है FM पे, that is आकाशवाणी. That is also in the form of this departmental undertaking. Then we have India Post, that is Indian Post and Telegraph. That is also the example of this departmental undertakings only. Now, moving further, let's see what are its features, although we have already studied now. The features, if we read, you see that funding. Who gives money to departmental undertakings for work? Of course, government funds the departmental undertaking. The government gives the money to departmental undertakings from its treasury only. Suppose if any locomotive is to be purchased by the Indian Railways Department, who will be giving money to Indian Railways Department for purchasing of trains or locomotives? Obviously, the government would be funding. So it is being directly funded by the government. So government's treasury is being giving the money to the departmental undertakings. Annual appropriation from the budget of the government. Through the budget, government is providing the money from its treasury to the departmental undertakings. And also, if departmental undertaking is generating income, is generating revenue, then where that revenue is going? The complete revenue of the government, which government is being generating, the revenue is going to the treasury of the government only, because it is the government's organization, na? Sorry. So whatever revenue the railway is generating, the complete revenue of railway is going to the government's treasury only. वो government की treasury में बेटे जाता है सारा का सारा revenue. So I hope the first feature is clear, that is funding. Who gives funding to the departmental undertaking? Obviously government, through the budget from its treasury. And whatever amount Indian Railways or any departmental undertaking is generating, that revenue is also being submitted to the government treasury only. Now, second feature, accounting and audit. Audit is basically about the checking of books of accounts. Do you think that books of accounts would be checked by the government for these departmental undertakings? 100% it would be checked by the government. Why? Because government is funding the departmental undertaking. Government is saying that we are giving money to the departmental undertaking. So wherever the government is finding out any problem that departmental undertaking has not worked properly, it has lost its money, it has invested the money in some other way, or it has basically done some of the manipulation or any corruption in the money, the government can take further action on the officials of departmental undertaking. I would not take the name online on screen, but you know that there is one uh, railway minister who has been penalized for not working properly in the Indian Railways. So that was the case of this accounting and audit only. That was due to it was the result of this accounting and audit only, right? So direct control, government is having the direct control on the ministry of department undertaking that has to give the complete, that has the complete accountability, that has to answer the government in case any problem is being found, and major subdivision of the government department and direct control by the ministry also. And ministry is also having the direct control on that. Ministry is also having the direct control on that. Then let's talk about the employees. You know, employees are basically the government employees, the people who are working in the departmental undertaking. They are the government servants, they are the government employees, and they are recruited as per the complete conditions of the government only. Like government is recruiting its own employees, same way there is recruitment of those also in the same way. So ultimately the employees of departmental undertaking are the government employees only. They are headed by the Indian Administrative Services. There are IAS officers who are the head, who are the boss of these departmental undertakings, and they have to, of course, all these employees have to work as per the instructions of heads only, those who are IAS, right? And this procedure is only called red tapeism. That means when for every decision, they people have to ask the this people only, so those who are ultimately the uh, heads. Now, accountable. Accountable means when we talk about answerability. Accountability means answerability. Can you tell me where these people will be accountable? Where these people will be accountable? Of course, they are answerable to the ministry. They people are answerable to the ministry, and management is directly under the concerned ministry. The departmental undertaking, of course, it is under the concerned ministry, and they are accountable to the government only, and they are accountable to the ministry only. Whatever decision they have taken, they have to tell the ministry why they have taken that decision. And if it is found that the decision taken by the departmental undertaking are not up to the mark, then obviously there are some points where the government take action, that can take further strict action on these people. Now let's see the merits. What are the merits of uh, departmental undertaking? It ensures a high degree of public accountability. There is accountability. The departmental undertaking has to, of course, answerable. It's answerable to the public. And when we say that it is answerable to the public, जब हम बोलते हैं कि वो public को answerable है, it has to answer the public for all the decisions. So definitely they do not try to take the wrong decisions, because they know any wrong decision, they would be in a problem, because they have to answer to the government for every wrong decision they would be taking. Then control. In the control, we can say it facilitates the parliament to exercise effective control over their operations. It facilitates the parliament to exercise effective control over their operations. The control is being done by the parliament also. The parliament will be taking care of all the decisions of the departmental undertaking, and whatever wrong decision taken by the parliament, there would be complete control of the parliament. तो जब पार्लियामेंट का भी मेरे ऊपर कंट्रोल है, तो डू यू थिंक आई वुड बी टेकिंग एनी रॉन्ग डिसीजन एज अ डिपार्टमेंटल अंडरटेकिंग? I have to answer the public also, I have to answer the parliament also, I have to answer the IAS officer also. तो आप देख सकते हैं उनके पास फ्रीडम सबसे कम होती है. this organization, I will say this, these departmental undertakings, they have the very less freedom or less autonomy. उनकी बहुत कम autonomy या कम freedom होती है. Clear? Now, source of income. Revenue earned by the enterprise goes directly to the treasury of the government. So it is the source of the income for the government. Government के लिए departmental undertaking, it's a source of income because whatever revenue, whatever income they are generating, the complete revenue or the complete income is going to the, it's going to the treasury of the government. So somewhere we'll say that it's a good source of income for the government. Then suitable, where national security is concerned, under the direct control of the concerned ministry, it is more suitable. ये बहुत ज्यादा actually suitable है. Why? Because जहां पे हमारी national security concerned है. National security concerned का मतलब है that where we talk about the complete nation. Mridul, please concentrate here. When we talk about the nation, so we'll simply say that it has a national security. Going in the private buses may make you in a trouble, but when we talk about the Indian Railways, so definitely government is taking the complete control of that particular thing. So कहीं ना कहीं जब national security की बात होती है तो government चाहती है कि भाई government अपने हाथ में major चीजों को अपने हाथ में रखे. तो government departmental undertakings में अपना direct control रखती है. But it has some limitations also, like no flexibility. Limitations means demerits. Of course, departmental undertaking has no flexibility, means they are rigid in nature. Whatever law have been made, whatever instructions have been passed to them, whatever things have been given to them by the ministry, they have to be very rigid in nature and they have to just follow those things only which have been mentioned. Delay in decision making. Employees or heads of departments not allowed to take independent decisions. जो employees है, जो head of departments है, they are not allowed to take the independent decisions. Approval of the ministry concerned is required, which leads to delay in decisions. So definitely there is delay in the decision making because for every decision which they have to take, they have to ask the ministry whether we can take decision, whether we can take decision, whether we can take decision. What will happen? There would be the delay in decision because every time they have to ask the ministry has to sometime ask the parliament, and ultimately in this way there is delay in decision. The decisions which they take, of course, they are delayed, right? Okay. Then risky ventures. It's unable to take advantage of business opportunities. Business opportunities की advantage लेना थोड़ा मुश्किल है इसमें. Bureaucrats over cautious and conservative approach. They are over cautious. जो bureaucrats होते हैं, who are the bureaucrats? The bureaucrats are those people who head the departmental undertaking, like IAS, IPS, IAS officers. ये सब जो होते हैं बेटे, ये आपके heads होते हैं departmental undertaking के. So sometimes we simply say that they are ultimately, taking care of the complete department. They are the head. So they are overcautious. They have the conservative approach. Whenever they have to take the decision, they think not even twice, but thousands of times, because they know any wrong decision would definitely make them into the trouble, and of course the government. So they are overcautious and they have a conservative approach. So that is why they don't enter themselves into the risky ventures, risky projects. They just want that their departmental undertaking should work only and only in the non-risky ventures. So they do not enter themselves into the risky projects. Interference. Lots of political interference through the ministry. I told you that there is very less autonomy, very less freedom, because political interference is there a lot. A reason is very clear why there is political interference, because they say that the departmental undertaking is getting the money, is getting the funds from the government treasury. From the government treasury, or we say it's getting the money through the budget only. So whenever it is getting the money from the budget only, from the government treasury only, definitely they are in a position they are in a position that they have to be, very cautious, and political parties, of course, do the interference in that, which is a problem for all, because they have to take a very quick decisions, but they are not in a way to take the quick decisions, because they have to think thousands of times for taking any decision. Those whose cameras are switched off, turn it on right now. Anish, Zaid, Harsheen, Kashish, Gagans, Vanishka, Sayed, switch it on right now. Then other is the insensitive. It is insensitive to consumer needs, do not provide adequate services to them. Now look at the trains. There are many trains which are almost 40 to 50 years old. And look at the condition of those trains when you're moving or when you're going in those trains. So departmental undertaking, works for social welfare, not for the profit objective, as it is the government's organization. So it is insensitive to consumer needs, because if it will provide good consumer needs to people or fulfill all the needs of the consumers, it has to spend a lot of money on that, right? So ultimately, they do not provide the adequate services to them because they are charging very nominal amount. Now, if you talk about a train which is running between Delhi to, suppose Delhi to Haridwar, if a train is moving from Delhi to Rishikesh, costing you rupees hardly 300 for that journey of 3 to 4 hours, it's costing hardly 300 to 400, hardly a seat. But what if you go to, you travel by road? Would you reach there in 3 to 400? No. At least it would be taking at least a petrol of rupees 2000. Same way, if you are reaching there by the air transport, you would be definitely reaching Rishikesh or Uttarakhand by air base. If we say you'll be landing at Dehradun airport, then you have to go to the Rishikesh from Dehradun. It would be charging you almost 4 to 5,000 to reach Rishikesh through air transport. So railways, which is the departmental undertaking, is of course providing the services to people, but at very low rates. So as a result, when it is not charging much rate from people, it is not providing the adequate services to them, right? Then red tapeism, I already told you red tapeism. It's in day-to-day operations and no action can be taken. It has to go through the proper channels of authority, which means whenever you have to take the decision in the departmental undertaking, that decision must configure with the complete channel of authority. The employees directly cannot take any decision. They cannot take any decision. For taking any decision, they have to follow the complete chain of command. Employees have to take the action only and only if their head allows it. The head has to again go to the other head. Again, they have to go to the parliament. So there is a red tapeism. For even single decision, they cannot take single decision directly by themselves. They have to ask their boss. Boss has to ask their boss. And ultimately, if for a big decision, they have to go to the parliament. So it's very, very difficult for them to at least, run the organization smoothly without any interference. So there is a complete interference, right? So that was the topic of departmental undertaking, which I was just teaching you. That departmental undertaking is that undertaking which is ultimately headed by the ministry. One ministry is being appointed for that departmental undertaking, and they have to work according to that. These are the examples. Then some of the features. If you don't want to learn the features, you can do one thing, learn the merits and demerits. Features are the combination of merits and demerits only. So you can learn the merits and demerits, and you can write it as features also. So these were the features which we have studied. These were the merits. Accountability है तो काम अच्छे से होगा, control होगा तो काम अच्छे से होगा, source of income for the government, most suitable when the national security is concerned. But limitations, drawbacks, demerits, disadvantages are also there. Like there is no flexibility in operations. They are very rigid in nature. Delay in decision making because they have to ask each and everyone to, before taking any decision, which is also called red tapeism. Risky projects, they do not go to, any risky venture. They do not opt for any opportunity available. They are more over cautious and conservative. They have a conservative approach also. So they do not go to any opportunity which is available in the market. Interference, there is a lot of political interference also, because sometimes when we say that, of course, political parties are involved in the business in this. Why? Because they have to work according to that. Then insensitive in nature, red tape is insensitive. Of course, they are not providing much good consumer needs services, and they are not providing the adequate services to them. And there is the red tapeism also. Red tapeism means in the day-to-day operations, we'll simply say that there is a red tapeism which takes place. All right. So that was the topic, departmental undertakings.